All right, guys, I had a minute to do Job chapter 7. I don't have a ton of commentary for this chapter, so it won't be too digressive, but a little to clear up a few things. So let's get into it. Verse 1. Is there not an appointed time to man upon earth? Are not his days also like the days of an hireling? As a servant earnestly desireth the shadow, and as an hireling looketh for the reward of his work. So Job is searching for rest from his toil. Verse 3. So am I made to possess months of vanity, and wearisome nights are appointed to me. When I lie down, I say, when shall I arise, and the night be gone? And I am full of tossings to and fro unto the dawning of the day. My flesh is clothed with worms and clods of dust. My skin is broken and become loathsome. My days are swifter than a weaver's shuttle, and are spent without hope. O remember that my life is wind, mine eyes shall no more see good. So it is at this point that Job is going to start addressing God. Verse 8, the eye of him that hath seen me shall see me no more. Thine eyes are upon me, and I am not. So Job concludes that God is focused upon him and that he will be annihilated by the divine gaze. Verse 9, as the cloud is consumed and vanisheth away, so he that goeth down to the grave shall come up no more. He shall return no more to his house, neither shall his place know him any more. Therefore I will not refrain my mouth. I will speak in the anguish of my spirit. I will complain in the bitterness of my soul. Am I a sea or a whale, that thou settest a watch over me? I thought this was very curious. Am I a sea or a whale? What does that mean? So Job complains as to the nature of the supervision God has subjected him to. And I thought perhaps the pulpit commentary best captured the meaning of this. Am I as wild and uncontrollable as the ocean, as fierce and savage as a crocodile or other monster of the deep? Do I not possess reason and conscience, by which I might be directed and guided? Why then am I treated as if I were without them? The sea must be watched, lest it break in upon the land. In Egypt there had been many such breaches, as the configuration of the coast with its narrow belts of sand and its vast lagoons shows, and crocodiles must be watched, lest they destroy human life. But is there any need that I should be watched, restrained, coerced, hedged in on every side? Am I so dangerous? Surely not. Some liberty, therefore, might have been safely given to me instead of this irksome restraint. Verse 13. When I say, my bed shall comfort me, my couch shall ease my complaints. Then thou scarest me with dreams, and terrifiest me through visions, so that my soul chooseth strangling and death rather than my life. I loathe it, I would not live alway. Let me alone, for my days are vanity. What is man that thou shouldest magnify him, and that thou shouldest set thine heart upon him, and that thou shouldest visit him every morning, and try him every moment? How long wilt thou not depart from me, nor let me alone till I swallow down my spittle? Just out of curiosity, I looked up swallow down my spittle. This is a proverbial expression meaning a minimum of time. 20. I have sinned. What shall I do unto thee, O thou preserver of men? Why hast thou set me as a mark against thee, so that I am a burden to myself? And why dost thou not pardon my transgression and take away my iniquity? For now shall I sleep in the dust, and thou shalt seek me in the morning, but I shall not be. So I thought that the most philosophically interesting part of this was trying to understand why Yahweh has not pardoned the transgression. And I looked at the Barnes notes, and he gives at least 3 reasons why. I'll kind of give a shorthand version of them. And yeah, let's just go over these real quick. The first, there's a feeling that they have a claim on God for pardon, or that it would be wrong for God not to pardon them. When people feel that they have a claim on God for pardon, they cannot be forgiven. The very notion of pardon implies that it must be when there is no claim existing or felt. So if you're demanding it, you don't deserve it, I guess. 2, there is no proper submission to God, to his views, his terms, his plan. That just kind of seems like it's combined with the first one here. In order that pardon may be extended to the guilty, there should be acquiescence in God's own terms and time and mode. The sinner must resign himself into his hands to be forgiven or not as he pleases, feeling that the whole question is lodged in his bosom, and that if he should not forgive, still it would be right, and his throne would be pure. And 3, Job's complaining spirit. You know, he's letting loose, right? He's letting God know how miserable this whole ordeal is, which it is, right? It is miserable. I guess, reading over this again, the line that's obviously very interesting, he's asking God, what is man? This is verse 17. What is man that thou shouldest magnify him, and that thou shouldest set thine heart upon him? Job doesn't really give an answer to this. He's like, because it doesn't make sense, right? Man is this fly in comparison to the divine. Why to go to such extreme measures to make Job's life so complicated, right? We don't deal that way with flies. And I think what's pregnant in this question here, right, is that Job kind of senses that, I'm not saying I know Job's mind, but the question itself rhetorically kind of hints at, that somehow man is important to God through his unfolding plan. Although I'm not sure Job understands that at this point in time. We don't. I'm just telling you why I think that's interesting. All right. Take care.